welcome to Chamber Chat TV with the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. I'm Danielle McFadden, President of the Chamber, joined by
Emma Brooks, Director of Member and Community Relations.
We're so, you're going to go for it.
And Lisa Maroney, Director of Business Development for the Town of Chelmsford.
I love that you introduced yourself. Usually I have to do it, but it's perfect.
Okay, there we go.
I'm going to have people whose names I cannot pronounce and be like, you're on your own.
Yeah.
How
Take
you
it
doing?
away. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
We're so
having me
excited to
on.
have you. You've been with the town since January?
January.
Wow.
Right, January. Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
kinda
you've been
going
around
by.
for a long
Really?
time.
Am I blending
Yeah.
in? Good.
You are.
Good.
You
I
are.
think that's great.
And we love
Yeah.
seeing you.
Yeah, it's been a great experience learning a lot about the town itself and the businesses here and meeting a lot of great new people, and it's been really fun.
I love the town of Chelmsford. It's such an all-American feel, and there's
It
such
is.
pride in generations of people who have lived in the town.
Yeah, and I think all the people that I've met in the business environment, as well as visitors and travelers and residences, have all just been very helpful and informative, and everyone's just working in a team effort together. So if I ever need anything or looking for forward direction, it's been a great collaborative welcoming to get me up to speed.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting up to speed?
I'm getting
You're
there.
getting there?
It's a great mix of businesses in Chelmsford, large global headquarters, large corporations, small businesses. So it's a different tactic when you're trying to make a connection in different levels
Definitely.
of businesses. Some of them are not accustomed to me showing up, or if they don't respond, I may pay a visit or drop in, but it's not necessarily meant to be inconvenient. I'm just trying to make an initial contact and just bring some awareness to outreach.
Yeah, it's
from
a friendly
the
pop-in.
town. Yeah. It's like, it's a business-friendly purpose to figure out how the town can help them with whatever they may need or future growth or plans, that type of thing. So some of it's repetitive, and I'm trying different angles of how to get into different large corporations, but it's happening. I'm getting there.
Great.
Yeah.
Good to hear it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what new efforts have been done for business development in Chelmsford?
So following up on what I was just mentioning, the outreach as far as making contacts and meet and greets with all levels of business, and creating either a site visit or just to sit down to talk about any frustrations they have, and learning what they may need from programs or state level supports or local support. Part of that is based on just creating a lot of strong retention and stabilize, the businesses that are here, understand their future plans and their future growth, so that as either leases expire or if they're looking to purchase and become permanent, if they need more space, if they're looking at expansions, if they're having trouble hiring. So that's been a big part of it, is my outreach, creating a network and a distribution list to communicate with all the businesses here, and that's been happening a lot through your networking events. Have been great for me. I probably have maybe built up maybe over 300, 400 contacts. A lot of them are mostly driven by realtors and developers, because my effort to fill up empty space works in many ways. So that's part of the database that's coming together. Chelmsford-based business contacts, I'm getting there. I've got a few hundred, and I'm still building. And coming forward off of that will be a business survey that we just finalized this week.
Awesome.
Right?
Very
So
exciting.
very exciting. We'll be sending that out through your network as well, and the contacts that I've made. We're also working with the Chelmsford Business Association and their distribution list. We'll be reaching out through all of the entities that have permitting or licensure through the town, so they'll be receiving the survey. So the purpose of the survey is multifaceted. We'll be continuing to build the database, but also asking questions of the business owners themselves about what their needs are for Chelmsford, what they love about Chelmsford, what they would like to see different, what we can work more on, as well as business property owners regarding questions and info on zoning, transportation, permitting, tenancy, tax incentives, expansion plans. So it is a 20-question survey. And to encourage participation, as you know, we have prepared a raffle. So every business survey that's completed, they get a chance into the raffle, of which is a free annual year membership with the Chamber. Very exciting. And the Echo Dot, the Amazon Echo Dot that you offered. So those will be 2 separate prizes.
Great.
I also have a gift certificate to our new restaurant, Harandora Vieja, on Summer Street in Chelmsford. So that's great. And the Chelmsford Business Association is offering a 1-year membership as well.
Excellent.
So, and then also the Holiday Inn Express offered a complimentary 1-night overnight stay.
Great.
So I've got some great
Very nice.
raffle prizes. So hoping that will encourage people to find a few moments to fill out the survey. It
Excellent.
takes about 10 minutes, or plus or minus to fill out the survey. So
Yeah.
we're really hoping that will connect me more with the business community, build my database, and create an open communication channel for more things that we're working on, which leads me to the permitting guide. We've been working on that. My coworker, Evan Belansky, he received a grant to help us prepare a permitting guide for Chelmsford, our first effort at building a permitting guide. So we've been working on that quite a bit, and it's in the final draft form. What that does is like a self-help book for entrepreneurs or small businesses or any size business that's looking to understand Chelmsford's permitting process, so they understand the timeline involved. It can be frustrating if they don't see the larger, duration of scheduling, if you need a public hearing, if you need Board of Health, conservation, planning. So to see that planned out as part of their master plan for either their expansion or new location in Chelmsford. There are 3 common as a guide for opening a retail store, opening a food-based or a restaurant, and then also opening an office space. So those are kind of the most common. And then from there, if there's a certain specialty, if it's a bank or something, specialty like that, will continue to be there through the process. It also has a section on land development and other, large-scale projects. So it's quite an all-inclusive permitting guide. So that'll be coming out in the fall, and that's been a big collaborative effort as well. So I don't know if you've worked with other chamber communities that have permitting guides out there, but it's kind of a heavy lift to get it down on paper. And the building inspector, all the inspectors, all the process. So it kind of eliminates frustration, creates a business-friendly environment, and it just is another tool to use when you're talking and talking with interested parties coming into Chelmsford.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciate that you took the time to put that together.
Right,
for sure.
right. And NIMCOG, the Northern County
Council.
Middlesex of Governments has been great support for us through the business survey and the permitting guide since my arrival, so it's been excellent.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you've also done rebranding 129.
Yes,
You've been busy.
Yes, I've been busy. So when I came on, the Chelmsford Economic Development Commission was already well on their way of their marketing and branding campaign. So I kind of came into the middle of that during the final steps of the logo and tagline. And so what we're working on now is the website. We're building content on the website, which will be Crossroads at 129. Putting in trying, to keep that as a placeholder for information that will be informative, but encourage more direct conversation. So it's not going to be a deep dive into very specifics, not trying to replicate all the programs and, rebuild all that verbiage into there. So that'll be more of like a top level, here's what's possible on 129. and here's where to come to have a more specific conversation.
And to
So-
get your permitting guide.
Right, exactly. So the guide will be there. There'll be a section for developers. There'll be a section for realtors that want to promote their locations. There'll be a section to learn about Chelmsford and demographics and the region. There'll be areas where the chamber can have a presence on our website
Excellent.
as well.
That's great.
There'll be mapping. It's just kind of a dynamic,
Great.
evolving as we go, and as 129 comes on, then we'll be using that as a outreach as
Great.
well. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's good stuff,
My
right?
goodness,
Very
yes,
exciting.
a lot since
Very
January.
exciting.
And you have a
Sure.
program for new businesses that come into the town to help them with ribbon cuttings
We
and things like that?
we do. So I think prior, the town, there was just so much going on. So I'm trying to partner with some of the work you're doing in Chelmsford to bring a presence from the municipal side and show support and be involved, through the permitting guide, and then leading to the ribbon cutting and
Yep.
connecting them with resources such as yourselves as they express interest. So the ribbon cutting will be a little more organized to make sure that the Board of Selectmen are included, the CBA, Chris Brennan, your
Yep.
membership person,
Coordinator,
coordinator. Maybe neighbors and abutters to the
Right.
ribbon cutting, and some as my contacts come on. Town manager's office. I usually let
Right.
the departments know that they're opening in case some of the departments want to be
Wonderful.
aware.
That's really nice.
And you don't know if they come in, maybe they go right to the building department and I may not be connected.
Yes.
So if there's a formalized process, then I'm always at least involved at some level, entering in. So to be able to, if they're a member of yours, then you drive that ribbon cutting. But if not, maybe
Yeah.
they're interested to have you there and
Sure.
and become members.
That's great.
And I think that's a little bit how the Harandora Vieja came on.
Yeah.
Was they came to town getting their permits and licensing, and then we kind of reached out and said, maybe they want to be a chamber member, and we kind of did a collaborative ribbon cutting
Yeah.
for that, and it was really fun. The mariachi band, it was
Yeah.
really fun. It was a good time, and so we're having a good time at it,
That's great.
and the business friendly,
So
it's
important.
working well. Yeah, it really
So
is.
if you can believe it, we have less than 5 minutes left.
Oh gosh,
I
okay.
know. So
I
we've
didn't-
we've covered a lot of
yeah.
the initiatives. You have a ton. Let's talk about the small business support and site readiness.
Okay, sure. So I'm sorry if I talk too fast. It's a lot to cover.
It is a lot to
right?
cover.
So maybe I'll have to come back again,
we
actually.
would love that.
Yeah, that'd be
Anytime.
great.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
sure.
Site Readiness is an amazing, great program that the state launched by frustration of needing large-scale areas for interest coming into the state, but having major pieces and parts missing. So Site Readiness allows us to create a master plan for our 600 acres on 129.
Excellent.
It's a very large office park, but it's starting to kind of struggle because it's office park from the 80s, and it's
Yeah.
been kind of so. We've got 70 properties. The state awarded a grant. We'll be doing a
Wow.
6-month deep involved study of that area with some great deliverables that I can come back and share with you.
That's great.
as
I
we
love
come
that
out.
idea.
So that
Yeah.
program kicks off tomorrow morning. We're going to be
Great.
doing a bus tour with about 12 people from New England.
Yeah.
Experts throughout New England are coming down to study it. And it's going to be
That's
really,
really
really exciting.
exciting,
Yeah. So I'd
yeah.
love to come back and just speed talk on that.
Perfect. I think we could have you on for like a whole
Oh my gosh!
come on the
So
radio for a
the
whole
small
show.
business stuff, as you know, we reached out to talk with you about that.
Yeah.
I have some very energized entrepreneurs on my side that came in. The first business I welcomed in, Artisans Exchange, and we're looking ahead to the holidays and
Yeah.
shop local, shop small, shop Chelmsford. And with that, I connected with the SPA, the Small Business Association, and so we've all been working together and trying to create a new initiative, a new program, just for supporting local businesses, and that goes along with the permitting guide, the survey,
Yes.
the shop local. We're kind of just getting started. We want to do workshops for small business with specific topics. We're going to be
Great.
kind of branching onto that next.
The small businesses and all the businesses in Chelmsford, I'm sure, are starting to really feel that huge support that you're bringing.
I hope so. It's constant. I'm out there every day.
Yeah.
Try to be in a new location every day. and but I got to be back in the office.
I know, it's a lot. It's a lot to manage.
Doing the survey and other things. So if anybody's interested, please contact me. I'd love to be connected with any of the Chelmsford businesses and
Great. Or people who want to move into Chelmsford
or even just
open in Chelmsford.
and just any business over the line. If we could just do programs and work efforts together, that's great.
What's your contact information?
So Lisa Maroney, and my direct office number is 978-244-3303.
Great.
Could be a little jingle there, right?
There we go.
And my business cell number is 978-735-3324.
Great.
And our website, townofchelmsford.us, has my email on it, but it's L Maroney, which is LMARRONE at townofchelmsford.us.
And we can also always pass Lisa's information along if you don't quite get that and you want to give us a call or shoot us an email. We can pass that along.
Great.
Thank you
great.
so
it's
much.
Great to
This
be
went by so
partnered with you.
fast.
I know
we
it's
love
great to
working
be partnered with you. And I'd love to come back anytime
we
that
would love to have
you
you
have time
back.
to fill me
Be
in.
careful what you wish for. On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. Thanks for tuning in.
The technology, the creativity. Lowell Telecommunications Corporation.
The world comes to Lowell, Massachusetts.
Hi, and welcome back to Chamber Chat TV. This is probably going to be one of the best segments ever. I'm so excited about this.
We're very excited.
I'm Danielle McFadden, president of the Chamber, joined by
Emma Brooks, Director of Member and Community Relations.
And since you guys have been on the radio together a bunch of times, I'm going to let you introduce Lauren.
Okay, so our final guest today is Lauren D'Agostino. She's a holistic health coach, a plant-based chef, and a doTERRA wellness advocate with Life Well Loved. Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for coming
Excited to
on.
be here.
This is
Yeah.
great.
We're very excited to have you.
So, we're going to be making salads. We've got so many ingredients out on the table. But first, I wanted to talk about plant-based and how it's different from veganism.
Yes, definitely.
So, veganism, unfortunately, now lots of companies have caught on that that's a trend. It's a buzzword, and so if something is vegan, they can put it on the outside of the package. But what a lot of people don't realize is that vegan doesn't always mean healthy or health
Oreos are
food.
vegan,
Yeah, or I was
Teddy
just gonna
Grahams
say,
are vegan.
Exactly.
Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, so the general rule that I like to tell people is that if it comes in a box or a bag or it's got bright colors that are not its natural color, you probably shouldn't eat it. And plant-based means just that. The base is plants. You can still eat chicken, fish, eggs, cheese, whatever it is that you're still working through, and just realize that it's a gradual process. When I first transitioned to a more plant-based lifestyle, I just focused on the meat and the fish, and I still allowed cheese and eggs to be a part of my diet until I felt like I was ready to take that next step. So that's a really big understanding, I think, for people to have.
I was just talking about it off air because I've gone, well, I guess plant-based because I was trying not to eat all that junk stuff, and now I'm eating eggs and cheese, and I'm like, I need to just get rid of that piece of my diet. So
yeah, it'll come naturally when it's
All right,
supposed to.
all right.
Yeah,
Sounds good to me.
yeah.
So your plant-based diet consists of a lot of salads,
Yes.
and all this wonderful stuff. So we're gonna
We're gonna just jump right in. Yeah. So I like to just make salads in the container. Usually we buy the larger container of greens. And then typically when it gets to be like half full is when I'll load it back up with vegetables again. And then I don't have to do, dishes, which is great. And you can shape the salad right up in here. So we're going to do kind of a fall harvest salad. It's still quite warm out, but I wanted to, just kind of jump right into the season here. So I've got pumpkin seeds, which are great. I always love to add a little crunch to my salads, whether it's, seeds, nuts, any kind of really crunchy vegetable. I've got walnuts here. Great for your brain.
Love walnuts in salads.
Yeah, get
Very
those good healthy fats. Good for your skin. I've got hemp seeds here. They're so high in protein. If you're not eating hemp seeds, I suggest that you get some.
That's good to
They
know.
go well in everything because you can't really taste them. Not that they taste bad, but you can put them on everything because they're pretty neutral. Throw them in smoothies. Hemp milk is another good thing to try if you're into those dairy-free alternatives for things. And then here I've got apples that I chopped up ahead of time and I tossed it with lemon juice so that it doesn't go brown. I love apples in salad.
How long would you keep the salad around? Like, would you eat this for a couple of days? or-
Yeah, that's typically how long it lasts in my house. Yeah, pretty much, when it starts to smell or the leaves start to kind of look like that really dark green or they get kind of that wetness to them is when it's probably time to get rid of it. And then I've got just some dried cranberries. It's important to look for ones because these can be little sugar bombs. It's important to look for ones that either have reduced sugar or are sweetened with apple juice. But raw cranberries, especially this time of year, are so amazing to put in like rice dishes or salads for that matter. Just don't expect them to taste like these little guys. They're quite tart. But they're delicious and they're so good for you.
So do you try and mix up the ingredients based on the season to keep it interesting and exciting?
Oh yeah, for sure. I love to shop locally at various farm stands. Springdale Farm in Littleton is so amazing, and it's really close to where I live, which is great. But not only when you eat locally and seasonally, your body is then able to prepare for the season that's ahead and the type of weather that's ahead. So you think about like in the wintertime in New England, we don't have raw vegetables growing outside. So when you eat them, it doesn't prepare you to withstand the cold winter months, right? That's why we crave a lot of warm soups and stews and those heartier bowls with the grain. But in the summertime, it's too hot to think about eating that stuff. So we eat more salads and drink more juice and smoothies and that kind of thing. So eating seasonally, if you're not doing that already, is really, really wonderful. In the springtime, certain vegetables that come up, like asparagus, just to name one, they're more cleansing and astringent to get you out of those winter months where you built up that warmth and that kind of internal mucus, we'll call it for lack of a better word. So it's really important to follow Mother Nature's rhythm because it's all part of this beautiful grand design. In some ways we're kind of doing her a disservice by not eating seasonally and locally. So yeah,
Makes sense.
So I just added in these microgreens. If you've not tried these, they're wonderful. I got these at Whole Foods. They are so potent with all of the things that mature greens will contain, but you get much more bang for your buck, and you just can sprinkle a little bit. The containers are kind of expensive, but you don't need a whole lot. I mean, you could eat the whole thing, I suppose, and be like super greens, but just a little bit. And look at how lovely it looks. You can throw this, on top of anything and really impress your dinner guests, or just make a really nice plate for yourself if it's been a long week, or I love to make things look really nice for myself at home. It makes it special.
And that looks like something you would order from a restaurant or something like that. It looks very well done.
And so I almost forgot here, since it's fall and we're going to be bulking up, so to say, for the winter months, I've got some sweet potatoes roasted with turmeric here. And normally I roast sweet potatoes just kind of in bulk, and I just have them on hand for anything from, quesadillas to adding to salads to having in bowls, whatever. So these just happened to be on hand. They're going in here. It's a fall vegetable. It's delicious. And then I've got a grain. So this is red quinoa. Again, I just cook mass quantities of this stuff because cook once, eat, I like to say 6 times, because who wants to be spending all the time in the kitchen, right? There's so much more to do.
So true.
But it is really important to invest your time, in that way. But it's important, I think, that people know it doesn't have to take so much time. It doesn't have to be
Definitely.
this big stress-producing activity. You can do these things while you're doing your laundry on Sunday morning, or doing whatever it is that you do, playing with your kids or whatever. And so look at that. I mean, salad in a container, done.
I used to overcomplicate things when I had my first child, and I would look up all these recipes, and then I'd like slave over, and then you don't even want to eat it. And then I realized all I have to do is chop olive oil, put it in the oven, roast it.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be complicated.
No,
you don't
yeah.
need tons of ingredients.
Exactly. And it's very much in your interest, I think, to make your appliances work for you. You don't have to be standing over something, stirring, sauteing, whatever. Use a food processor if you don't like to chop vegetables. Use your oven if you want to just put it in and forget. And usually I do forget, but that's when I smell whatever's cooking. I'm like, oh, it must be done. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So for the fall, some of your favorite ingredients, the pumpkin seeds.
Yes, so the pumpkin seeds, the root vegetables. If it grows underground
Love
and
root
it's fall,
vegetables.
eat it. Okay, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beets, really, really great. What else do we have? Carrots, onions, garlic, all of that kind of stuff. Really great for fall. Cranberries, of course. Pumpkin seeds we mentioned. Apples. Cannot say enough good things about apples. I find them to be so sweet sometimes, so they're great just to slice up with almond butter in place of dessert if you're trying to cut back on sugar, which I think a lot of people are, which is good. We could do a whole separate discussion on sugar.
Let's do it. I feel inspired every time I see you. So.
Yeah. So really anything and pumpkin seeds we got. Okay, so like anything else, pumpkin, anything. When you think of fall and you think of the colors that we see this time of year, if the food is that color, there's a reason. Just like green in the spring, green vegetables, leafy greens, green, anything. It's that color for a reason. So let's move on to the salad dressing. We're each going to kind of make one. I'll walk you through my salad dressing method. So I always start out with some kind of thicker base. So for me, it's going to be Cedars Hummus, great local company, whatever flavor. I happened to grab original, so great. So Danielle's going to have the tahini, and Emma has got almond butter. But if you have a nut allergy, fine. Use something else. Use peanut butter if tree nuts are your poison. Use sun butter if both of those don't work for you. Whatever it is. This is totally flexible. This is totally fun. So we're going to grab our little whisks and just take a scoop and plop it in the bowl, and that's it. We're using as few dishes as possible. You might have to stir up a little bit, because the oil tends to kind of separate there.
I've never cooked with tahini.
Tahini is so good, so you might have to pour yours a little bit, but you won't need too much. That's probably
Is that a good amount?
Yeah, that's good. Yep. Cool. Okay, and then let's see. I think we've all got some kind of vinegar. So apple cider vinegar, if you've not tried it, get some. This company is great. This stuff you could take a shot of it a day. It's really, really good. I don't right now. In the winter months I probably will. But it's good for so many things. I love it in salad dressings in particular. Danielle's got raspberry wine vinegar, which is lovely. Doesn't it smell good? And Emma's got brown rice vinegar. You could use regular rice vinegar, but these are just the ones I grabbed from the pantry today. So just put a little splash. Yeah.
I'm making a mess, of course.
That's fine.
Of course, I got it on my dress, now on the table.
And then we'll just gently whisk. I like to always keep a close eye on the consistency of my salad dressing, because you want it to be, appropriate, creamy for your salad dressing, but you got to just kind of monitor it along the way. So typically with the nut butter dressings, you've got to add some water.
Okay.
But
this is getting a little thick.
Yeah, but you've got tamari there, so go ahead and add that.
This.
And Danielle's going to add some extra virgin olive oil. Yep, probably like a tablespoon or so for you, and for that one too. Yep, you could do a little bit more.
Does that look good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a little bit of water because I know you'll need it.
Yes,
My
thank
reach
you.
here.
Perfect.
So all of these ingredients that are the base, right, the thick butters or the hummus, need to be watered down, but they've got a lot of power in their own right. So the hummus is providing a lot of protein and that really, really great flavor. The the nut butter, again, with the healthy fats and the protein, and the tahini, same thing. So we're going to do a little bit more vinegar here. And then usually we need to add more flavor or herbs or sweeten it up a little bit. So I've got raw agave nectar, maple syrup could work, honey, nice local honey could work. Good. And then I brought some essential oils here. We're going to have fun cooking with those. Just a drop of lime in this one, a little kind of end of summer dressing with the raspberry lime.
And I have some ginger.
And the ginger. Just one here. So this is an almond ginger dressing, and it's so good. Can you smell it?
Mm-hmm. It smells really good.
Yeah, good. So let me have a look at this one here. See what's going on. You've not got the best
I know.
whisk. No, it's good. It's all good. It's like very. I had to grab these little teeny
The butter
ones.
was pretty thick. So.
Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. So yeah, and the fun thing about this is I never know what kind of salad dressing I'm going to make because I have something different in the fridge every day. So I just add things like I mentioned, the base, and then you want to have some type of acid from the vinegar. You'll probably add some kind of oil or some other seasoning like the tamari. Then you'll want to sweeten it up, kind of to bring the flavor back around, and then add herbs or garlic. I almost forgot about the garlic I brought. That smelled so good. Let's get that going. Really make this smell great here this afternoon.
So for someone who doesn't really like salads that much, how can they take baby steps to incorporate more of them into their diet?
Yeah, so start with what you do like. If tomatoes are something that you totally hate, fine. Don't eat them right now. Don't get hung up on what you should be doing. Focus on what you are doing. Focus on what you like. If romaine lettuce and cucumbers is all you like right now, that's great. Focus on adding maybe some different types of protein. Try it with chickpeas. Try adding lentils or rice. We love to put rice in salad too. Whatever, right? Anything goes. Other things I think too for people to really get to love their salads would be to try different dressings. There's so many great combinations out there, and you can make them at home. I mean, how easy? How easy is this?
Too.
It smells good, and you know that there's no preservatives in it. There's nothing weird in the ingredients, as long as you're using good things. I've got to finish mine here. I'm busy talking, but I've got Dijon mustard. Mustard is another really great seasoning, especially for fall dressings, and a little maple syrup, a little Vermont from our neighbors to the north, maple syrup. Support them. So wonderful.
And that's something I feel like many people probably wouldn't think to use in a salad dressing is syrup.
Yeah. So it's important to, just like when you're making desserts or whatever, it's important to add that one element that amplifies other things. So when you make desserts, you need a little salt to amplify the sweetness or to bring it back down. When you cook with chocolate, it's good to add espresso powder because it amplifies the chocolate flavor. Little tricks like that. And the sweetness actually in the dressing really helps to tone down the acidity of the vinegar, which is important. Otherwise, you're choking on your salad, which is so not the point. So we can go ahead and give these a little taste.
Thank you.
Taste one, taste each other's.
Thank you.
Whatever, let's see. And if it comes out disgusting, play with it. Use whatever you have and do it until
that.
you've got something
very
that
good.
tastes
A lot.
good.
It's has a kick to it. I like
Yeah. So if
This
it's
has a
got
kick
too
to
much
it
of a
too.
kick, add more sweetener. Add a little more oil or maybe more tahini. And then it'll be a little thicker. And then if it's too thick, add water. Okay, water, when you make salad dressing, is your new best friend because it can thin it out.
That's really good for
Without-
like an Asian salad.
I love
Yes,
that, yeah.
exactly, yeah. And using the oils was great. I love fresh ginger, but I hate handling fresh ginger because you've got to peel it and and then I always forget about it in the fridge and it goes bad. But this oil is so great.
It's really good too.
The flavor is amazing. Yes, the flavor is amazing, and it's super convenient. Another oil that I love to use when I cook is cilantro oil. How many times have you bought cilantro, use it for one thing, and then it sits in the back of the fridge and it rots?
It's so true.
And then what a waste, right? It's not that expensive, but it's the
but you
principle
waste
of
it.
it.
Waste
Exactly,
food. Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
So yeah,
I think yours is my favorite.
yeah, it's all good
Do you
stuff.
love that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know if you were like.
Yeah, no.
"What can I add
It
to this?" I
needs.
think
It's
really
normally
good.
got more tamari and a little bit more almond butter. I would do maybe, and then thin it back out with this. But that's exactly the whole. You take a scoop of however much you think you'll need, and then when the flavor's not right, then you problem solve and you go back through your ingredients, or it might even be missing an ingredient. I don't know. Maybe a little sweetness would help it out. But that's the fun of it. You taste as you go. You cook as
really
you
fun.
go, and it's an interactive
That's fun
and
to do with
intuitive
kids,
experience.
too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If I bust out, let's make the dressing, then every day so it's gonna be like, okay, what are we making today?
I love that.
Yeah.
But that's so fun, and that's the
Yes.
whole point, especially with kids, to get them involved
Yeah.
and to get them excited about. I mean, wouldn't you be so thrilled if your kids wanted to
Yeah.
eat this
Oh,
every
yeah.
day,
Yeah. Yeah.
or if you wanted to eat this every day?
Yes. There's
so-
nothing like a good salad either.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just.
yeah.
You feel so good after. You feel
Yeah,
energized,
yeah.
not like you want to take a nap.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we only have 2 minutes left. What else do you want the viewers to know?
Yes, I've been working on a fun project.
Ooh.
Opening a cafe, working for a woman who's opening a cafe, but it's going to be in Dracut. It's called Plants with a Z Cafe. It's right off of Lakeview Ave, just down the street from Dracut High. So I'll be the chef over there. So
Very
if
exciting.
you've
So
liked what
excited.
we've done, come on by the cafe when we're open. We're hoping October. I don't know if any official announcements have been made, so chamber exclusive right here. But I told her,
Breaking news.
yeah, I told her I was coming in, and
Great.
so yeah,
And I
so
heard
she's
about it from,
excited.
Allison Hughes, who's a select woman in Dracut too. So she was
Oh,
talking
great!
about it
Oh,
to us, too,
perfect.
so
Good. Yeah.
news is starting to get out.
Yeah. So get everybody excited. We're gonna
really
have
exciting.
all kinds of really familiar food, just healthed up a lot. It's
Yeah.
gonna be much more
Great.
colorful. So expect bright colors. Expect to come in and learn something. That's the whole purpose of the restaurant, is to welcome people into a plant-based lifestyle, but teach them why it's important. It's so much more powerful when you realize why you're doing something instead of but I miss eating whatever.
Yes.
Don't think about that. Think about the awesome things that you are eating, and then understand and realize how you feel after you eat
Yeah.
whatever that is, and then you're more likely to choose that next time when you remember how icky you felt when you used to eat.
So true.
Yeah.
I hate when you eat something that you're like, oh, this is so good, and then after you eat it, you just feel gross. So I'm hanging with you all the time. And I'm just gonna get super healthy.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's so fun. But people can find me also on my website. It's lifewellloved.me. My phone number, 978-846-3551. Email address is lauren@lifewellloved.me. You can find me at the cafe when we're open. I'm in Westford, but I work with people virtually, and I travel kind of in the greater Lowell area, go up to Nashua pretty frequently, so I'm around. Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is fun. I can't wait. This is my lunch, so I can't wait to eat it.
So we got to go so Lauren can eat her lunch. Thank you for tuning in this month. Our Business Expo and Showcase is on October 16th at the Chelmsford Radisson. More information on that on our website at greaterlowellchamber.org. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got to eat.